So this is a talk in honor of Valentine's Day tomorrow and self-love. And I feel like our calling is the way that the universe shows that it loves us. It's a very, obviously, I think it's very important. My whole career is centered on helping people follow their calling without sacrificing, showing them how to do that without giving up anything else that's important to them. But I want to start back a step. I want to say that we can look at some of what's on the slide. So you don't need anyone's permission to have a calling. It's like you already have permission. You were born with permission. And you don't need anyone's permission to follow it. I think people go through all sorts of twists and turns and pretzel shapes and machinations to feel like it's okay for them to follow their calling. And it's like, no, hold on. We've lost that connection. But the only person who can restore it is us. The person who cut it off was us. It never went away. It's always living inside us. When I say that the title of the talk today is Your Calling is Real, I think a lot of people have fear that their calling's just not really real. They may dream it. They may think other people have callings and their calling is real, but your personal calling somehow isn't real. And I know it took me a long time to understand exactly that my calling was supporting other people's callings. Because on one level that could just seem boring, but on the other hand, it is totally exciting to me. I don't care what anybody else thinks about my calling. I don't want you to think about what anybody else thinks about your calling. It's really not for them because their calling is their thing. So my calling, suddenly seeing it that way, wrapped up like decades of fundraising and money coaching and work with people on their use of time and mindfulness and my own spiritual journey. And I was like, what is the through line here? What is the connector? And I think it must have been grace that helped me in the next moment understand, oh, duh, I help people follow their calling. People worry about failing and they worry that their calling's not real. And I think those two fears are linked. It can be challenging. And especially once you realize you have it and you begin to reach for it and claim it and pull it up into visibility, this is going to reorganize my priorities. This is going to make me get smarter, not work harder, work smarter. It's going to make me use my wisdom. It's going to make me see myself as the divine being that I have secretly been wanting to see myself as. So just to look at the slide a little bit longer, I think this whole discourse about sacrifice is really BS. I'm totally sick of it. Anybody who worries about that, I think, is just looking for a reason to not follow their calling or has listened to someone who was frustrated and felt like they just couldn't follow their calling, and so other people shouldn't either. And what's cool about this approach is that everything we've done has been a step on the journey of following our calling, including things that look like failure. Your strengths, it's the middle of the slide. Your strengths are a result of following your calling. Your strengths are a result of following your calling. Everything you've done has been building your strengths. And secretly, you were following your calling. When you develop strengths, you're developing an aspect of your calling. You don't have a problem with with having strengths. You have them. Your problem is not owning them. That's part of my approach. Owning your strengths is what makes you a ninja. Because that's the other thing, is it's supposed to be selfless, right? Like we're supposed to go to the mountaintop and give up everything. And we're supposed to wring ourselves dry, sacrificing for other people. That's kind of, I think, a misprision of the religious idea of a calling, which I think is wonderful, the notion of vocation. And I think religions around the world have sort of kept calling alive for us to claim it. But one of the misunderstandings about that is that it's somehow for other people. It's like, wait, why would God have put something inside me, in my heart, that was strictly for other people? So do a lot of people have a lot of things we're good at. Something that you're good at isn't necessarily your calling. So this is the slide. I feel like the calling is the voice of our best and highest selves, and it's always calling. It can be really loud and we can actually try to drown it out. And then on the foundation, it's these two, are on the foundation of infinite possibility. They're not on a foundation of lack or limitation. And I contrasted that with this other, I'm going to see if I can quickly find it. Yeah, this one, which was from a TED talk, a perfectly good TED talk on finding your calling. And it was the conjunction of doing something you're good at, feeling appreciated, and making people's lives better. It's like, excuse me, but F that. That's not what I'm interested in people doing. I don't think that God gave us something so that we can feel appreciated. Feeling appreciated is too small. It means I'm not looking for anything outside myself. I'm not looking for validation. I'm not looking for appreciation. I'm not looking for even respect. I do expect respect, but I don't anticipate those things for following my calling. I'm really listening to what I hold inside me. The farther I get away from it, I'm looking at it now, and the third ball was feeling appreciated. What was it? Feeling appreciated, doing something you're good at. Oh, making people's lives better, which kind of gets to your initial thought about your calling, was like that it has to be for other people. It's like, I don't know. Does it make anybody's life better? If I'm a painter and I try to make people's lives better with my art, I think my art stinks. There's no authenticity to it. And I realized that the new way, what I'm calling the new way, is terrifying and scary sometimes, because it's like this huge thing. And we have to see ourselves as like someone worthy. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm a soap maker. Look at Dr. Bronner. What a vocation. That's the coolest thing in the world to be that, to make soap. My guess is they didn't sit around waiting to find out what would make other people feel better or feel good or feel appreciated. That comes later. Like, this is really about loving the self. And I guess I mean the self with a capital S.